Good afternoon. We have breaking news right now at USC. A large crowd has surrounded a police vehicle. Now, this all started with a protest in support of Palestine on the USC campus at Alumni Park. That's where this year's commencement ceremony is set to take place.
You're looking at live pictures right now as we follow this breaking news. On Friday, we were the first to tell you that all speeches had been canceled after the valedictorian shared pro-Palestine posts on social media. Let's get live to NBC4's Julia Deng. She is at News Chopper 4 with more. Julia.
Well, Kathy, you can see this swarm of students here. It looks like they're surrounding this campus police vehicle. Now, early reports indicate these students involved in this pro-Palestinian demonstration have escalated into some kind of conflict with law enforcement. We have only been overhead for a couple minutes. We can't confirm whether anybody has been taken into custody here. It appears to be calm for now. You can actually see this crowd parting around this white campus police vehicle. A couple security officers here. It looks like they are campus police. But again, pro-Palestinian demonstration. I'm going to widen out and show you just how many people are involved here. You can see some of the signs they're holding. This is not the first demonstration of its kind we have seen on this campus and others nationwide. But again, demonstrators here involved in some kind of conflict with campus security. Multiple people, early reports indicate, have been detained or arrested. We are live overhead at News Chopper 4. Back to you in the studio.
LA Natives Podcast, Las Aslan Natives Podcast. What is going on? We just saw a clip.
What is going on, familia?
We just saw a clip of what's going down right now, live at the campuses of USC in Las Aslan.
Right. Apparently, they're trying to distract us again.
Apparently, something from far away is causing havoc in our neighborhood.
But I understand their frustration. I understand what these students are attempting to do is to put more of a spotlight on what's going on out there in the Middle East, right, Zero?
Right. Like them pulling people out in their underwear with guns on the streets they have just bombed isn't enough. Right? It's like, I get it. We're getting riled up about this stuff, and then we should. I'm not saying that what's happening at USC is wrong. It's not. But it's kind of like dispersing energy in a way it's almost like they're squeezing a pimple, right? The powers that be are squeezing a pimple because they have to release the pressure, right? And what is that pressure? It's going to be like a bunch of fuck yous, a bunch of broken windows, a bunch of cars fucked up, and then you go home and you eat your burger, right? You go home and you go, okay. And some people don't go home and do that. Some people go home and organize even more. I'm not saying that what we need to do as a community, as we grow into ourselves again, because that was the prophecy of our ancestors, that we would grow into ourselves again, right? We would return. Our ancestors had a focused energy. That's why our communities ran in the way they did. Our waste was taken away. Our farmlands were a certain way. Our cities were a certain way. I don't ever hear stories about the protests that happened in Teotihuacan. Right? It's like, and isn't it? It's funny that people say that people started protesting when the middle class was created. I just seen this recent either documentary or somebody was talking about it, on how before the middle class was created, it was just work. You were working your ass off. You didn't have time to look at society and go, hey, this isn't fair, because you had to get to work and wake up and go to sleep and get back to work. This is like prior to people owning houses, getting loans, and doing this type of, this middle class that they called it. And when people started getting in the middle class, the kids started going, well, it isn't fair that they're treating the black guy like that. And there was just too much time on their hands. So it created this people that felt like they had rights, right? So we were trying to have civil rights, right? That was the first time where, well, not really the first time, but you know what I'm trying to say is that they're trying to popularize.
So you're saying since the creation of the middle class, that kind of rooted all kinds of problems.
Yes, at least the way.
It's like a trickle down effect.
Yes, because people had more time to go on vacation, more time to. Prior to that, they had to work their ass off. You know what I mean? There was no labor laws that were in place to,
And you're saying prior to that, there were just warlords, just super rich individuals, and then the other side was just on the other side of the fence was just
It's always been that way. It's always been a class.
ghettos.
It's always been a class system. What do you think, Daniel? Right?
Well, I mean, I think what you're trying to say is that there was barely surviving, and then once you were barely surviving, you were actually able to save a little bit or have a little more money, and then I think that's what you mean. That's when
Yeah.
the middle class,
Right.
you start to. You're not just trying to float. You're actually now, you're. But again, too, I think a lot of that has to do with, well, sadly, private ownership. Land. I don't want to sidetrack the topic, but we had an existence that we didn't have, ownership of land. We were very communal, and so you think of, you know, our communal mentality, our communal reality didn't afford for protesting, because everything was connected.
Right.
I try to think of it like, in our time. Okay, he was a good one. In our time, it was a native that said this. It says when they came, they very few they took from each other, and some of them had more than others, and a lot of them had nothing while others had a lot. Whereas in the native world, it wasn't like that. Nobody had nothing, everybody had everything, and so it's just a different way of looking at things. And so it's an interesting thing that we bring this conversation up, because think of the mindset that we're thinking of. I'm not doing this, but those people are protesting, on college campuses, here on the West Coast about an issue that's happening on another part of the world. But, even though that's happening there, they're feeling that friction and that tension here where we are. But I think of this, and I've always struggled with this, but that any type of resources that I put into this government is paid to kill people on another part of the planet. Like, man, that just, that doesn't feel right at all. And so if they're protesting that, I understand that, but I'm not sure. I don't, I don't know. I don't know what that's about, but I could understand the what's it called? It's when you have tension, or it's
Well, I think
dissonance.
what I heard, Ilhan Omar, there's a politician.
Oh, right.
Politician that has a daughter that goes to USC apparently, and she had a pro-Palestinian speech that she wanted to talk about. And I
Hey,
guess
but hold on. I think I think I think her daughter's at Columbia.
Columbia. Okay,
And so,
okay.
and
But
it's not
something was
USC, brother. But you're
Okay.
on the right path. But I think
I don't know. I don't follow the news, but that's what I
do.
heard.
But I know she was arrested too.
Does that have anything to do with what's going on
Yes,
at USC?
yes, it does. It does. They're the same. I assume the same protest, but I mean over there, it's because that's Columbia is a big deal over there on the East Coast. That's where I think the Speaker of the House went today to say that the president of the university should step down. And thinking, why in the fuck is that guy there? He's not even going to hold his job for another 2 weeks. That's the problem. You get people out there that it's just like those is 2 cents, and his 2 cents ain't even worth a fucking half a cent. You know. But it's like it always happens in the public forum. People start to battle shit out, but then when it comes to paying the bills and getting people educated, they don't know where we fucking found. Because that's a crazy thing. Think about it. We can't feed the poor. We got all this fucking homeless and all this money for billions of dollars they just paid. I mean, like, I don't know, man. I don't need to be a rocket scientist.
But we give them the benefit of the doubt. We give governments the benefit of the doubt. We give religious leaders the benefit of the doubt that they're telling the truth. Right? They could just be saying, "Oh, we're giving billions of dollars." They're probably giving shit. Right? We don't know that. Nobody audits them.
Right.
Nobody audits them. And when they do audit them, they die.
Yeah.
The people that audited them die.
But who
or
audits them, and who does it? Think
that's
about
what I'm
that.
saying. Like when what was the name of that motherfucker that went on during the 9/11 shit, and he said, "Oh yeah, we can't account for trillions of dollars." Like I think it was
That was I think it was, what's his name? Cheney, wasn't it?
Cheney,
No.
right? Was it
Cheney.
Cheney?
No, no, it wasn't Cheney. It was the other
No,
guy.
Rumsfeld. It was Rumsfeld.
Rumsfeld.
It was
Rumsfeld.
Rumsfeld. This motherfucker goes
Rumsfeld.
up on, dude. Imagine, dude. Imagine, dude. You fucking own a company and you're like, yeah, we can't account for, almost all of it.
Yeah, but welcome to the military and the jail system.
But that's what I'm trying to point out. I'm trying to point out the fact that you had a high-ranking military or office from the president say, we don't know where $2 trillion are. And we go, oh, damn, well, he must be telling the truth. And that's what I mean. Everything they say, we just fucking buy it and just go, oh, yeah, that's the truth. When this person has never told the truth, they don't even know what the truth is.
All right, let's check this out.
What
guys.
is truth?
Right here.
It's found that California did not properly track the billions of dollars it spent to combat the homelessness crisis.
Capitol
Right,
correspondent Eitan Wallace has a closer look at the findings and has a reaction from lawmakers.
Well, here at the state capitol, lawmakers we spoke to about this audit's findings say they are outraged. It's the issue impacting communities across the state, homelessness. It's such a big issue that, according to the Legislative Analyst's Office, the state invested $24 billion over the last 5 years to curb the problem. But this just released report from the California auditor found the state lacks the proper information to determine the ongoing costs and results of its homelessness programs because the California Interagency Council, or ICH, in charge of overseeing the implementation of Housing First policies, has, quote, not consistently tracked and evaluated the state's efforts to prevent and end homelessness.
And that's disappointing.
Dude, I don't know. $20 billion, Zero. How the fuck is that not solving the world hunger?
Like, because we believe it. We believe that white motherfucker. We believe that individual that was, wow, we can't find it. Wow, we don't know.
Well, as far as I know, there's all these nonprofits, but their employees are getting paid $100,000 a year. Zero, like, I guess they're the homeless outside.
Look, I used to work for the state. I know how funding goes. And
it's in people's pockets.
Nothing about funding is like the way the brochure says, everyone has a chance to get this. It's about who you fucking know, man. It's about who you know.
Oh shit, they're giving us millions of dollars to help out the homeless. Hey, cut that check, Zero.
No, more like this. Hey, bro, start up a nonprofit, bro. I got you. You too, Sky. You too, Daniel. Start up one. Dude, I got the green light on this fucking money right here. Right? And nobody audits it. That's what I'm saying. Look, think about it. We're gonna break colonial perspective right here.
And that's just LA though.
Right.
Imagine.
We're gonna break colonial perspective because what we're talking about is paper that's devalued already. So then we're talking about what they make up, what they print, and they give it to you and they go, look, fight over it. Look at how fucking they're fighting over this paper that we printed. Right? And then we toss words around like billions of dollars to Israel when it's like keyboard strokes. It's maybe they don't even send shit. It's rich elites playing Monopoly with rules you don't know nothing about. Like when we say taxes, we go, oh yeah, LA Times said the taxes went to Israel. Do you know that we still have to pay a debt to the Queen of England? So most of that money goes to that. Maritime and Admiralty law still exists. It just got coated over with paint, right? There's layers and layers of paint on this bullshit. They're liars. They're lying to you. And so getting back to the protest, we're protesting that they're lying. Okay, well, fucking tell me what the fuck is new.
Yo, Daniel, where did the $20 billion go?
Man, that's a good question. I mean,
In people's pockets.
Yep,
Come on,
pocketed.
Mondo.
It's pocketed in
Where
there.
did it go, bro?
the thing is that if you think about it, like people, why do you work for government? Why do people, and it's like the system, like it's very, like it's just the bureaucracy, man. They have a way of just taking a lot of money and putting it to crazy shit. I mean, I've worked in the systems like Ruben has too, and it's just kind of crazy. They have a way of checks and balances of checking all the stuff, but it's weird, man. They're only checking a little bit, and most of the money's like in the back end.
And
Kind of,
it's the way the funding works. It doesn't work like line per line. It's chunk per chunk.
So Zero. So we go to LA County and we say, hey, we want to open up a nonprofit to help out homeless. We're in Skid Row. We see homeless every day. What can we do to get that money, right, Zero?
Oh, they're gonna
So
be
what
like,
we had to
they're gonna be like, oh, fill out this paperwork and stand in that line and fucking put your fucking finger up your ass and fucking blow your fucking nose and wait. Well, Sky walks in knowing the director saying, hey, I have an appointment. What's up? Here's my paperwork. Okay, cool. 50K. Boom. Let me know when you're set up. Let me know when your office is set up. Okay, cool. Another 50K. Boom.
hey, but you know what, too, Ruben? Let's just throw
Let's
something
not
out
be
there.
but let's not be stupid. When it comes to money, it's fake. We already established that money is fake.
So
then if it's fake, then I could go, hey, Sky, here you go.
so
And then they could go, oh, well, here you go. And we can both be going, here you go, on shit that's fake.
so according to the news, Zero, the homeless problem is at an all-time high. Do you feel like there's a homeless problem in LA?
I
Because
feel
we live in LA.
not only in LA. Look, when you talk to me, I'm looking at the big picture. And the destabilization of the globe is happening right in front of our eyes. Right in front of our eyes. This is done on purpose, man. But you don't pass laws that say you can steal up to $1,000 is going to be a misdemeanor. What are poor kids in poor neighborhoods going to do? They're going to rile themselves up and go, we're not going to go to jail, dog. We just need to take $500 shit. Yeah, but they're not going to have to deal with the racist cop that catches them and breaks their leg, kills them for a pair of shoes. They're destabilizing the globe right in front of our eyes. Everybody thinks it's going to be like a Band-Aid. It's going to be tomorrow we're going to wake up in Nazi Germany, but it's not going to be that way. It never happens that way. They're doing it on purpose. And that's okay. Go ahead. You're the genius. You're the one that knows everything. Right? Right? You're the one that somehow is bigger than the globe that you're standing on. Somehow, some way, you have all the answers. Somehow, some way, you can convince us as humanity, as the people that are going crazy over there at USC, that killing babies is okay. It's all right. We're going after an enemy. It's never okay to dehumanize a population, ever. It's never okay. And this is not for a race of people, and this is not for a country, and this is just for people who are doing that to other people. I know when I'm at a place and someone punks someone and they seem like they're in distress, I step in. Hey, bro, what the fuck? Are you okay? Is this something we shouldn't fight in front of the children? But people are dropping bombs and killing people and pulling people on their underwear and fucking humiliating them and not letting resources into a country. Of course, people on the other side of the planet are going to go crazy.
Yeah, at this point, I think everyone's starving to death.
Yeah.
Right?
And you think people are not going to go crazy? People are not going to... And because we're fed that we're all equal. We all have a chance. You know what? But you need some fucking food. Go get some EBT. Fucking... And then you have other people like fucking 3-year-olds on a fucking phone getting videoed starving. This is intense. Of course, people are going to be emotional. I believe though that we can. I learned something in my current situation in my life where I learned how to transform energy. Instead of energy weighing me down and being a burden or being a sadness, right? We tend to think that depression or anxiety is not energy, but it is. It's massive amounts of energy. Even if you're sitting down in a chair, your brain is firing off electricity in your mind because you're creating pictures in it. And those pictures are making you sad. So you have energy that you're using. I believe that instead of protesting and just getting a lot of fuck yous out and getting a lot of fucking, I don't fear you out, and then not really accomplishing anything, that's a waste of energy. And they want that. They'd rather you just go out there with your sign and say, fuck you, asshole, fucking defund the cops, fuck you. Okay, you want us to defund the cops? Okay, well, fuck it. Here we go. No cops. Now what? We're going to defund the cops, so we don't need that many people. So fuck these guys. They don't need a job. And that's why there's a lot of people are homeless, man. It's not just the United States. You want to know why, Armando? Because I don't know if you heard this, Daniel, but they're busing other people from other states here.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, though, Zero, that,
So it's not just California.
It's not, but no one's going to sit here and tell me it's not a drug issue. The majority of the homeless homies that I know out there in the gutters, they're doped out. They're either they're high on crack, fentanyl, or meth. Am I right, Daniel? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it has to do with drugs, but it's kind of okay. To me, there's a white elephant here.
But it's a domino effect. It's not. It's
Right.
something traumatic is maybe going down their lives. Everyone walks their path. They stumble on drugs, and then you're stuck, and then you're fucked.
I have an interesting story about.
I'm all right, Zero. I don't know.
I think you're right on track, but I want to hear what Daniel has to say. So,
Well, I was gonna say this, man. You're all missing something, man. It's fucking the root of a lot of this shit. Okay, is that who are we really going against? We're the scientists. Okay, we're the ones tracking, we're observing, we're looking at everything. Who fucks us up all the time? The religious people. What's all this war about? It's religion, man. It ain't, fuck. It's the root of a fucking all the caca that's out there, man. And so, with religion, you can hate people. With religion, you can create a god that wants to kill people. It's fucking. And then you say, where did all the money go? How many religious groups are trying to help homelessness? Okay, how many of them people have no tracking where the fuck that money goes? Okay, because they say, oh, it's a church, and the government and the church aren't supposed to be together at all. That's the foundation of this country, that they didn't like the church getting in the government. Well, something happened. Something got fucked up along the way, and now they're in bed. It's like when I was a teacher at Alum Rock. The head of the head of the union was in the district office right next with the district. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Why would he be there? But you don't see that the system sets it up so that they're just sleeping together. Oh, we're fighting for you. Yeah, sure, we're fighting for you. But that's just dirty. And so the people that are fat, literally fat, they're sitting there going, oh yeah, we're fighting for you. And we're all struggling at the bottom trying to, okay, what? And so that's what you get. You get these people that are really trying to help homelessness. They get paid like $15 an hour, when the fat cats sitting there at a desk, and that's what it is. Just think about the whole idea of this country is to make a lot of money not doing shit. They just rob it, steal it, try to do get as much money as you can, don't do nothing. That's what this country is about. Now, I'm not about that, but this country landed on me. Like we're people that work, and we.
I don't think it's a government. I think it's a perspective or a way of life or a way.
Well, Ruben, someone made the dollar, and that dollar right now, it didn't exist before they got here. Once they got here, they created this dollar. That concept of a dollar, so it takes all of the natural resources that we all had before and turns them into units. And once they burn that unit, you can't get it back.
But
so what they do is they go around the world, they take other people's natural resources, sell them dollars, and then in turn, now they owe the United States money. I mean, if you look at the way the system goes, man, the U.S., why is the U.S. sending billions of dollars to Israel? Because Israel's, it's the U.S.
But that's my
These are the
point.
the blue star,
But that's my point, dude. Like, nobody audits these people, and there's some very rich
But
motherfuckers.
who would
on this-
audit them, Ruben?
Wait a minute. There's some very rich motherfuckers on this planet. Really, 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 really rich. Like Arab sheiks, African kings, fucking people that have interest in resources that, yeah, we put on a uniform and we put a fucking flag on there and we think that that's what it is, but it's never been that. They've been fucking lying to us from the get-go. I don't fucking buy their shit.
That's what
I don't
religion
buy-
is,
I don't-
Ruben. That's
No,
what
but
faith.
this is beyond religion. This is like
That's how they lied to you.
this is like the way I see it is that it's a monopoly game that everyone gets to see that. But not everyone gets told the rules. Right? You got to fucking figure that out on your own, except for a few. If you come from a lineage, we'll tell you the truth. Right? And we buy into it like if this fucking money means something. You know what means something? Creating something. Daniel created a clothing company that tells you, that gives you symbols, that gave you energy inside your body. That, man, when I rock his shirt, I fucking felt like, yeah, no one else has this shirt because it has this symbol on it.
Yeah, but Ruben, think about it. That's a different frequency than money, though. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about. We're in that shift, Daniel.
Of course. But
LA
I mean,
Natives is in that shift. How can we use the energy that's being created in the globe with all this sadness and hatred? I'm going to explain to you something that happened to me. And just very briefly, I took sadness and created a fog, right? A fog. Picture a mirror that has a fog. You know how when you take a shower and there's a mirror and you have fog on it?
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote sad on it because I was going through some sadness, right? And then I wiped away that word sadness and I put push-ups. And I stopped fucking feeling sad and I used that sadness that I was feeling into push-ups. And I got my routine up to 156 push-ups. I'm telling you that we need to transform energy from this frustrated hatred. I can't do nothing. I'm gonna make this sign and just let them know that if fire, and then you go home and you're deflated. You got it out. That's what they wanted you to do.
Or you get arrested.
Or people take it to a next level.
Yeah. They stick around.
Right? And they go, well, the sign wasn't enough. Let me show my peers that I'm a warrior and let me go after them. Let me jump in the fire.
And then you lose your job.
Yeah. You risk everything for energy. It's kind of like they want you to be a firecracker. They don't want you to be something that can damage things. And what I mean by damage things is changing a perspective. You see, their stuff is cemented in us. We don't realize it, but we are cemented in these things. And what I'm talking about, that is the colonial life. You go to their schools, you practice their religion, you practice their diet, you drink their recreational beverages. Everything is cemented in. It's up to you to break it. It's not permanent. It can be if you're stagnant. But if you use your energy in different ways, like I explained, taking sadness into push-ups, a physical activity. It's okay. I feel that draining energy, but it's not draining. It's actually giving me energy. I'm transforming it into something that I can create and contribute. The shift is about creating and contributing. That's what me and Daniel do. I created a restaurant that's plant-based to contribute to my community that has no health food in it. That's what I'm doing. I'm transforming energy. You can't control my energy no more. You don't have no control over my shit no more. I have control over it because I follow a certain path. They're setting us up. Look at, bro, they have rubber bullets. They have real guns, machine guns. They have tanks. They have armored vehicles. Yet we feel like we can jump into the fire, like if our life doesn't matter.
And look, Zero, half of the people out there are just holding their phones up recording.
No, they're young, hurt. They're young, hurt people saying, I don't want to live in a world where people can get destroyed like my ancestors got destroyed not too far ago. Native American people, indigenous people, original people. The reason I'm sitting here the way I am is due to this type of behavior. That's it. And it doesn't make me evil to say that. It doesn't make me anti-Semitic to say that I'm a human. What kind of distorted reality is that? I'm a human. I feel for other humans. And when it happened to my people, we stayed humble. We didn't wipe you out because we knew one day you'd go away. Well, Wonka said that. It's just that we thought it was going to be overnight. But your actions make you go away. Your own actions make you go away because we're going to start seeing that this is a monopoly game and they're handing you monopoly money to play. And when they don't want that monopoly to be any value anymore, they just say, fuck it, we're not playing this game.
Let me ask you, Zero, are these cops willing to die to do exactly what they're doing tonight on USC? I doubt it, bro.
You know,
like,
look, what people don't understand is that those cops, they're not just getting $30K a year. Each one of those cops is getting at least $100K a year.
mm-hmm.
This is a well-funded, yet we think that the cops are to protect and serve our community. Okay, back in the Western time, when there was a sheriff in town, who was he guarding? The property owner. It's no different today. It's no different. You're fucking up a university. Somebody owns that property. So who's there to protect it? Sheriff in town. There's no different, man. We got to use our energy different. Our energy is creative. Right, look, right now, somebody could go to jail for 10, 15 years. The 8 that are fucking going, they're still in jail. How long have they been in jail? Almost a year? Fucking
right?
6 months?
At least 6 months. Yeah.
Right? They jumped into the fire. And we support them. I'm not saying that we don't support them and we're ignoring them. And shout out if you can donate to their causes. Jagger Ariola, Eden, and all the other. I don't know them off the top of my head, but I support them, and we have them in our heart. Anybody that sacrifices themselves for their people is a hero. But there's got to be a time. There's got to be a time where we become great leaders, like our great ancestors were. Cuauhtémoc, Tlaloc. What's that other one, Daniel?
What's that, brother? Hey, man, you're on a
The
roll, man.
Sundance,
I'll let
the
you go.
Sundance guy. Remember you said the Sundance that you went to? There was a family. Their lineage is like really long.
Oh, Tlacael.
Tlacael.
But Tlacael is they're the way they were because they held the word. They didn't tell anybody anything, They
Yeah,
knew
but
how
they're
to keep
good
their mouth
leaders.
shut.
They're good leaders.
But I mean, do you understand, Ruben? They know how to keep their mouth shut, and so we're from the Mexica, man. We're like, I'm looking at that, like all that you're showing there right there. And I don't really, I haven't been seeing all that stuff because, like you're talking about, I get bits and pieces because I watch YouTube, it throws out they're talking about it, but, man, I've been gardening, I've been dealing with my dad, I've been dealing with other shit, and, like, that's not really what I'm dealing with in my world. But I would say this, I look at all those cops and I think to myself, "Man, right now, if there was a bank robbery around there, where would the cops be? If there's somewhere around there, maybe somebody got jumped, where would the cops be?"
Yeah. But
I'm being real, man. Look at how many cops there were. Maybe there was about 40 or 50 of them,
more.
200 maybe.
There was thousands of cops out there.
No, brother, hold on. Go back and look at that because that's what I trip out off of, man. How come people aren't like? 'Cause I think of where I'm in the city of Sunnyvale or San Jose. You get 20 cop cars. They line up. They all line up each other. And I think to myself, man, you get two cars. You park them at the end of that, and they fucking not a single one can move. You know what I mean? And it's just like, dude, what are these guys? They're all standing there in a line. I don't know if you remember. Well, you don't, but when this country had its war, the Civil War, the War for Independence, the English were red and they fucking just walked forward in a line like that. And you know how they lost? Because fuck, the enemy didn't fight in a line like that. The enemy was all dispersed all over the place, and they'd be picking them off one by one. Bum, 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 bum. And so to me, man, it's just like, first and foremost, like, man, you just can't come into a school of education, school of knowledge where you should be really challenging, verbally having discussions, but just not physically having altercations, But then you got all that presence right there. I remember when I was a teacher, elementary school, and we went to the union. We had a union issue, and so they brought people to the campus with guns at an elementary school. It's like, man, think about that. Like to prove their point, they break rules that you're never supposed to break. So think about and I'd say those pigs being on that campus shouldn't be there. No business there.
I just think
It's just the way they react to shit. It's kind of like you got a toothache and they'll send you a big fucking, a tank. Like, hey man, what the fuck are you doing? But again, dude, you know what it is? Nobody's in charge. Nobody is in charge, man. And that's fuck. Think about the shit that they did to the 8 that are locked up. All the shit they pulled on them, and then they trying to act like, oh, we're the law. We do things fairly. We're honest. We're moral. We're ethical. Man, fuck you. You lock people up. Don't even give them a chance to have truthful evidence. And so here's the thing. All this shit landed on us. Okay, like we were still here. Like I was saying that. Okay, we as Native people, we didn't go nowhere. Everybody came here to be free. Think about that shit. Okay, think about all the people that come here and they tell you, "Oh, we're from all over the place." Well, no, man, I was here and I don't speak English. I had to fucking get forced into my shit. Why? How you say Europeans came and they raped our ancestors, and so now we're a whole new race of people, and like we're not part of this economic, prosperity that they talk about. You know what I mean? And like I remember going to shows and they're like, "Oh, well, you can't sell your stuff there; it's too political." Like, who the fuck? How does my shit get political? But it's just they create a system that we're not part of, and then they bomb shit, and then we somehow are credited for that. Like, I don't know, man. That to me, that mind game's done. Like that shit's way done. And so like,
well, I think that's what they're facing. I think that
they should be. It's bullshit.
Public opinion has changed just because technology has changed.
Well, because we're not killers, Ruben. We're not trying to kill people. Because I don't agree with you. I'm not going to pull again. That's them, and that's the shit they do. Like you said, pulling people out under. They're trying to do something, but they're not realizing that they're planting the seeds of hate in the whole world. So the next, because think about it, and I trip out my nephew. I tell him, "Don't you know that Israel's the police of the world?" And I thought, well, what do you mean? He goes, "No, everything the police does, they use Israeli technology." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay, it's kind of crazy to me." I thought.
So then,
okay.
let's think of it. So then let's think of it like this. Then, okay, just when you said that, a thought came in my head. Right? How long has it been going on? It's going on for 75 years.
Well,
right?
Ruben, since the English decided to say this is going to be the home of Israel's going to be the place for the Jewish peoples.
Right.
England decided that. Okay, I mean, I'm not trying to place blame. I'm just saying, back in put credit where credit is due. I'm kind of curious, how come they don't have people going to England then? How come they don't have Jewish people going to England?
When we think of England, we think, oh, the government of England, right? But it's the king and the queen, dude. And people say, well, they don't have power. Yes, they do. They just told you they don't. They're just fucking liars.
We speak their language, Ruben.
That's my whole point. My whole
Yeah.
point is that they've been lying. They are lying, and they just get better at what they're doing.
Hey, Ruben, think
Now,
about
I'm not
something.
giving them credit. I'm not giving them credit as the all-knowing
But think
because
about something, Ruben. How could somebody tell you, "Hey, you need to ask permission in the king's English"? What the fuck? Do you think our ancestors know the king's English? Do you think our ancestors that are out there, if you speak to them in English, do you think they really know what you're
no,
saying to them?
and I
No
do
clue.
I
No
do
clue. People say Christopher Columbus. That's only a English fucking fictitious name. It's not even real. That's not even his fucking name. You say Christopher Columbus, he'd be like, "Who the fuck you talking? ¿Con quién estás hablando, pendejo?" Because his name is Cristobal Colon. It's the way they fucking change everything, man. It's like
Well, that's
if
my
it's
point.
English, it's already dirty.
That's my
It's
point.
dirty.
That's my point is that they lie. You know, we get frustrated about
But
it.
we know the truth, though, Ruben. If we could point out the truth, then man, then we can start following the truth.
Knowing the truth is not enough anymore.
No, but I mean, it's a good way to
Knowing
start,
enough,
Ruben.
wait, knowing the truth is not enough anymore. Practicing, challenging, changing, stepping out of. If you're not in that mode, you're going to get eaten up by worse colonial people. They didn't get better. They got worse.
Right.
We think that just because we're comfortable, right? We're comfortable, right? We're in our living room and we're watching Netflix and, you know, some fucking cop busts in your fucking door,
Fucking pigs.
right? For no fucking reason, pulls you, scares your kids, shoots your dog, and goes, oops, wrong house. We think we're comfortable and we think we're free.
But Ruben, that's what the Second Amendment's for. That if you read that shit, that's
Whether
what
they
you
do it,
say
but
your gun.
unless you know how to fight it,
I'm saying, but your gun's
unless you
supposed to
have
protect you
money,
from a bad
unless you have
government.
money and you know how to fight it, they're gonna go into your house however they want.
No, you're right, Ruben. I'm just saying the law's written though that you should be able to have your gun to protect you because think about it, man. And none think about this, okay? All the gun shit that's going on, it's somebody shooting you first with a gun. Not a single you look at the law, the gun is not about shooting first. It's all about defending yourself.
But
So
me
I mean, just
being
think
like
about that.
them, but me being like them, defending myself like they would defend themselves is being like them. I think a greater way, in my opinion, and I don't mean to disagree with you, Daniel, because I love you and I
I'm good,
love
brother.
you.
You have your own opinion. It's all good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that. And at least when we're speaking in LA natives, Sky has an opinion, Daniel has an opinion, Armando has an opinion. Everyone has an opinion, you know. But my 2 cents in this is that I haven't seen more success, more freedom, more progression, more dream mastering than understanding the math of my ancestors by using it in my push-up regimen. Very small, minimal, but I'm using it. I look at the sun every morning. I'm conscious it at noon, and I make sure that I say at night. These are practices that are far more greater because you're now connecting with the mother of the gravity that's pulling at your feet. When you do these things, they think they're above that. That's why I just sit back and let that ant think that it's as big as the world. They may have a lot of knowledge. They may have a lot of power, so-called. But we fucking fight. We flow right into it, right? Wasn't that crowd, Armando, was that crowd marching right into the cops?
Yep.
Come on, man.
And
It's like shooing a bunch of rats into
And
that
if you
they're
have
confined right into the fucking trap.
and God forbid, shout out to all the frontliners, but if you have a lot to lose, like if you're worried about losing your job, don't fucking go.
Right.
Right.
All right,
Exactly.
Zero?
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
but you can I
Because a
say
few
this?
of us are blessed enough to like not worry about that.
But I
Right.
suggest if you are that energy person, that person that has a energy, I need to protest, I need to move my body, I need to create that fog. Create that fog. Write
But
a word into it erase it, and put action to whatever that word is, you'll get more creativity, more action, more use. See, it's kind of like, think of, before you go, Daniel, I just want to just kind of reiterate this point. We think that our lives are not worth anything, but they are. They're creations from a source that we have no understanding and no reason how to understand it. It's far bigger than us. When they put a picture of the earth, we automatically said, oh, we know what the earth looks like. And we don't. There's caves. There's mountains. There's things we have not seen yet. We got to inflate the ego down and unite with what is, no matter what that person says, you're still connected to what I'm talking about. That mystery, the great creator. Each one of our lives carries that energía, that energy, that tonal. So when we jump into the fire, when we jump into the arms of the cops that don't care about us, they don't care if they break our neck, they don't care if they break our leg, we're wasting this beautiful, precious gift that's given to us by something we don't know. Use it wisely. Be creative. Be creative. Creativity kills them. I think that's what they were saying. Be creative. Be creative. Because energy will come out and be like, oh, fuck him. And then you feel better. You shouldn't feel better if you didn't create anything. Creativity is the answer. In whichever way you can see it. Let me ask you a question, Sky. When I tell you be creative, what do you think of?
I think of just life in general. Because I think
Do you see one door or do you see many doors?
many doors.
Right? And if you see many doors and they're trying to chase you, but they don't know which door you're going into, then they can never catch you. Be creative. Don't just see one door. Right? If we make a metaphor out of the protest, we go, that's one door. But when we're creative, this is what I love. There was a movement in China called Be Water. Did you hear about that, Daniel?
Yes.
Mondo, can you look up, maybe Google on YouTube, Be Water Movement China? I think that's what it was. And this movement was about Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee had said in an interview that to be water is to take the form of, water takes the form of whatever shape it's in. If it's a cup, it turns into a cup. If it's a pot, it turns into a pot. So then there's no way of trapping it because it becomes something. Even if you leave it in with the lid, it'll evaporate. You know? And he was trying to illustrate, to be water, if you're water, you can never be captured. And there's a whole movement, although it's a protest movement, but it has creativity. And that movement has creativity. It's nonviolent. And it's really just pointing out things that we need to address as a community. And we have a right to do that. And if you endanger yourself for saying that, what fucking place do we live in? I have a right. I know.
I'm shocked that there's nothing on YouTube.
I'm sure they wiped it
or
out.
Google.
I'm sure they wiped it out.
Clearly, they censored it.
Yes, absolutely. It was an effective movement. So I know a little bit about it. So what they would do is they would go, we're going to meet up and do this protest in front of the blah, blah, blahs and the this, right? And they meet up in a location and airdrop people that are like all together. They airdrop directions and they go to another place. In other words, and all the cops are setting up and they're putting their barricades and they're doing their thing and they're going, yeah, they're going to protest right here. And, we're ready for them. And then all of them get an airdrop.
And disperse.
Boom. They get on the subway and they're on the other side of town doing their thing.
That's interesting though, because
There were water.
and that's interesting when you think about it, because when you think about water, right, and if you have it in a cup, it's stagnant, it gets dirty. It's like it's like us like thinking about that protests. We're there, we're just riled up. All this chaotic energy is going around.
We're not moving.
We're not moving. But when you think about running water, right, that's water in its purest form. So it's just crazy. You made me think about it like that.
Well, play the Bruce Lee Be Water. Play it. That one's dope. We got to play that one. That one's like, it's.
This is what it is, okay? I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now, you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
And they created a whole movement around that. That's what I'm talking about. And I want to disclose something. If you try to use anything in saying that we're trying to be like, I never suggest violence. I suggest creativity. I suggest expression. But I'll never suggest you hurt or damage anything. It's not worth it. We don't come from those type of people. We don't destroy things. We create things. We put things in order. That's who we are. And that's the way we need to use our energy. It's not one door. When you use your creativity, it's infinite doors. And no one knows which one you're going to go into. Only you do. And that's your power. Use it. Each one of us are like we can think about, I remember seeing an interview with Santana talking about Bob Marley. And he was just going, man, Bob Marley used to draw 80,000 people to his show. One person. Imagine a collective of these energy beings. It's shifting, man. We got to be aware of it. That's all I'm saying. In a different way of money going to Israel or the government's treating me unfair. How about they can't catch me because I'm too creative? And if they do, it was my time and I'm not afraid. How about that? I don't know.
Yo, but
that weed's good, Daniel.
No.
I'm waiting, bro. I mean, I got something to say. I'm just trying to.
No. But Zero, you have a point. It's not just nationally; it's globally going down.
Yeah,
going down.
Of course, it's look. When people start saying overpopulation, they say they're too much to control. So they're going to affect it. And what do you think? They're going to just Nazi Germany the whole globe? I don't know. They're going to take their time. They're going to put their traps. They're going to do their thing. And they've always done that. Okay, fine. You can kill people. Daniel, what did you have to say, my bro?
All right, well, I don't know. I think my point was way back about 20 minutes ago, but the thing is that, okay.
Oh, did you lose your bro? I'm sorry, bro.
No, brother. I just say, here's the thing, brother. Like, okay, I'm from where I'm from. So because I'm where I'm from, I have, at least in my mind, some authority of where I'm from. So when the cops come to my house, they talk to me a certain way, and they have authority because they have a gun on their holster. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
okay now.
Facts.
Okay, so do you understand that the United States is the only country in the world where a policeman's going to come with a gun into my house like that?
Mm.
Do you know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So that wait, hold on. So to understand, so then in this country is the only place where they come with a gun. Okay, and they come in to tell you that I'm in charge. Because in other countries, when they come in and tell you they're in charge, I respect that because they're in charge. They're the people from there. And so the people here with guns, they're not from here. They've never been from here. I'm from here. That's why I don't have a gun. I'm from here, so I'm not violent. It's not the way I. And you look at. You could get on multimedia, go here, and they're always talking about killing, all this shit they're doing. You don't hear us doing that. It's always been leave us alone. Leave me alone. Let me grow my shit. Let me do my thing. But it's the only country in the world. It's guns, man. It's the guns. And the things about in Israel, they're guns. They're going into Palestine, and Palestine has no guns. Okay? They have no guns there. They're getting fucking gunned down. Okay? Just like here, when they come with guns and you don't have a gun and they fucking gun you down. So no shit, the world is pissed. I'd be pissed. I
Yeah.
get mad when people try to, I don't have a gun. It's like the other day I was driving and some fucking guy just cut me off outside, and I got out of my car and said, "Hey, you cut me off." He fucking got in my face. And I was like, whoa. I said, "Hey, bro, I'm supposed to be pissed off. You cut me off." And so we are back and forth. Hey, man, where the fuck you from? I'm from Puerto Rico. Okay, well, fuck. And so that it's just, it's just me. I'm living my life and I'm not trying to be mean or get in people's shit. But it's like, wow, people are on something else. But I mean, what you're saying, I hear it, but like I can't get caught up in it because my buddy says, "Hey, dude, the world's like this, just get ready." And it's true, man. In the day I'm going, and it's just like people are just bent out of shape, but they're not Israeli or Palestine. I mean, honestly, when that guy came at me, I thought he was a Jewish dude. And I thought, oh man, but I just held my ground. I didn't get mad. I was
Well,
just like,
you
hey,
know, you know,
you know.
I understand what you're saying. It's like don't get caught up in the, destabilizing of the globe
But
or
Ruben, it goes beyond that. That they have a gun. Like this is the only place in the world where the people that are running everything. This is an experiment, Ruben. All the other places in the world, they speak that language. They have a history of those places. This is the history began here when they stole everything, made everything in English, and that's the fuck they think that we landed in India. Get the fuck out of here. Like the shit that we believe, man, you know what I mean? For me, it's hard. It's like you said, if you believe in truth, man, it's a rough fucking road because
well,
Hollywood's all about lying to you.
yeah, but
Think
truth.
about it. All we're seeing is pretty much a Hollywood version of shit.
Well,
It's just
not only that though, but I mean, I think, and we've had this discussion before, Daniel, where I say you can't find truth in books because that you can reference truth, right? You can sort of reference to truth, but truth can only be experienced. It cannot be read. You can't read somebody else's experience and go, "Damn,
right,
that's
right,
true.
right.
Damn, that's true."
Well,
Right?
remember too,
Um,
remember we talked about the Tonal Machiotl, which is actually the part of when you call it that, it's a book. So that
right.
right there is a book. And that to me, at least, and like I
Well,
said, we can agree to disagree, but to me, that's truth. Like that book to me is a truth that I follow. And
but
so
what I'm talking about a book, what I mean by a book is it has a cover, has a back cover, and it has somebody's opinions
right,
written
right.
down
Well,
in it.
I think that's the book
That
that the
that
natives talk about. It
that's an
doesn't do well in
emotionally.
the water, right?
That could be that, but our emotionally were not words; they were pictures.
Right. Like you
Pictures.
don't need to know to read it.
Exactly. We read differently. We read differently. We talked differently. We acted differently. We knew what spirituality. We had a different everything, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. As they destabilize the globe, when you cling to truth, which is what Daniel was pointing out, because those symbols are based on thousands of years of observation. That individual that drew it was in a spirit of it, and it came into fruition.
But I would even say too, this, Ruben,
Creativity.
okay, but I would add this too, okay, and this is really pertaining to Mondo, okay? You think about hip hop, okay? think of hip hop and that whole what the existence, the theory, the genre of hip hop. That shit don't fit in nothing that's American, and it's just fucking thriving. It's this whole underground, not on the radio, like shit that's just really. And to me, I mean, hip hop is an American creation, like jazz. It's one of those things that the infusion of this fucking evil shit created a voice that had to be heard, had to be spoken because, man, it's not in the books, it's not on the radio. That shit's just real. And I mean, that's I think, I know his hip hop blog, that's a testament to shit that just that's underground, shit that's exists that, you just don't hear about it. And to me, I just think that that's what really this country's about, the real shit. But you got all these people just perpetrating and trying to control the things like right now. Think about how when they're telling you that fucking this chimpanzee's gonna win. Get the fuck out of here, man. Really? Like, you really believe that? Like, come on, man. Like, to me, that's the shit they're feeding us, man. Like, drink
But they
weed.
had, but they had,
Fucking go get a gun. Go protect. They're just telling you dumb shit. Don't smoke weed. Fucking be mad. Fucking look for your enemies. Like,
but they
there's
they
some
knew
shit.
they knew what they got when like radio technology came out. And then science fiction started being presented on that radio station, and seeing the public react to just somebody on a fucking radio going, and now the aliens have landed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ruben,
And then
they're not
fucking people are looking out their fucking window going, shit.
Ruben. They're not smarter than us. They're just more scared than us.
My
Okay?
point,
Simple.
but my,
They're
but
more
my
scared. They're just not smarter. They're more
but my
scared.
point is that they found ways to manipulate masses of people through radio, through TV, and now they lost control because they got
Right.
greedy, right?
Right.
When
Right.
they introduced the phone. Because now the phone, you can't restrict, you can try and restrict it, but even in very restrictive countries, you can get through different servers and using, there's always a hacker that knows how to do something.
Yeah, but Ruben, they're not
They're
smarter than
not
us, man. Don't think they
exactly.
are. They're not smarter than
Exactly.
us, and they haven't even created like they don't even know where the fuck they're going. They have no idea where they're going. And things you think about this is like, where's the future of this? Like, the fact that you look at the government, you just look at what they look like, okay, and then it makes sense why they're not me. They don't act like me. They don't talk like me. You ask them, hey, how much you put in gas? They have no clue what the hell you put gas in your car. Like things like that. People that are making those decisions should have that type of knowledge. But again, too, it's just a separation. When you create something big, and you know this, man, you got this big ass company, you can't control the employees. You can't control, it just gets too big.
Well, that's my point. And my point of bringing it back down to the discussion of like how they feel like they know everything.
Of course they
Even
do, but they
even
don't.
their symbolism, the all seeing, whatever. Okay. Okay. I concede to that. Now show me, what is it? Where is your commitment to observation? Because only observation brings truth. So then if you have this wisdom, this all seeing, this all knowing, I'm better than you, show me. And when you do that, they can't, because they have no connection. They only have bits and pieces. And they put this mosaic picture together and they go, this is reality, when it's a distorted picture. Only observation, dedication, commitment brings out the art pieces that Daniel's talking about, the Tonal Mashiach.
But you know what, Ruben? I think what's interesting too, it is what it is, man. But I grew up being the only brown face in an all, not brown community. And so a lot of, I don't know, it's just my life. I hear a lot of people talking about how they are. Well, I grew up with them, and they told me how it was. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But do you know what I mean? Y'all grew up with raza, dude. I didn't grow up with raza. I grew up with people that are just like Mexicans are this and this. Oh, but Danny, you're not that, And it's just that was the story of my life. And so it's interesting. Like my nephew, all day, he grew up in Salinas, all brown, telling me how shit is. And I'm like, nah, mijo, sorry, dude, it ain't like that, you know. And it's just fuck. I grew up in a place where I was the only brown face, man, and like I heard the shit they think. I heard what they say, man. And it's like,
I mean, I think it even goes deeper than that because, I came from a poor neighborhood. I came from humble beginnings, and I was a very successful person working with autistic kids, and m- a lot of my my children had to suffer with, oh, you guys are white.
yeah, right.
Right?
I don't mean to laugh room, but yeah, you're right.
Like one time, my son told me, "Dad, all my cousins they think I'm white," and I go, "Why?" And he's all, "Wow, because because we have a nice house and." Because we always get to go places, and I go, because your dad loves you, you're white. No, no, your dad loves you, and he grew up very humble and poor, and he wants to show you happiness.
Yeah, but Ruben, I was called white. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's what Rasa does. They
Yeah.
call that they don't see that as brown. They don't see that. They see it as something white. And I mean that's on them. I myself,
But
I mean
my children experienced that.
no, but I mean I just see the way I grew up. And what I was thinking is it kind of tripped me out. I remember just being blessed that when I was studying in Mexico, that as white as I sound, the homies accepted me. Didn't treat me any less or didn't think I was less cultured because I just speak the King's English. I mean, it's just my mother, and I kind of trip out, man. My mother, and I always talk about this how my mother did all these things for me. She did, but then I kind of tripped out, Ruben. I think that my mother wanted us to be American, and she did that because she wanted us to succeed. She didn't want us to be, you know, not successful. And she never said, because I trip out now, I think about it, is that my mother never pushed like Mexican and me. I never and and it's really and just to put it out there, it was my dad and my father's side that brought me to the calendar, that brought me to all the native shits, my dad's side. And so it's just interesting that and my mother was just such a force in my life, but I trip out off of that, she's not this, that was my dad's side. So, that dynamic to me is just interesting, and so
Yeah, I mean, I love my grandmother to death. I love my mom. I love them all, but they were nothing about what.
right, Ruben, that's what I'm saying. It's such a journey that we take, but
You
here's
know,
the thing. Well, I was
you
gonna
know.
say to Ruben, I had experiences with white men constantly in my life making decisions, about me, and it just fucking didn't make sense. Like, and I think I told you the time when I was the only Mexican kid on the team, and I was the captain of the team, so you could say I was a decent player. We played against an all Mexican team, and he said, "You know what, Danny? I don't want you to play because I don't want you to help them win." Well, that dumb fuck, he sat me out, and we lost. So he did help them win by having me sit out. Fucking dumbass, you know what I mean? But that's the white man. The
Mhm.
white man says, "Oh, well, you're Mexican, so yeah, you're
And
gonna be for
and
the Mexicans." It's like these guys, those people, and I mean, I'm sorry for everyone. That was that coach. And it's like, dude, but I've experienced that individual that just thinks like weird as shit. Like they don't know me at all. They think that somehow I'm gonna go against all my homies. It's just weird. To be to not know your culture, to not understand you. It's a crazy way, and we live. And I'm in my own land. I'm in my own home. I'm not. I'm from here, and to feel like sometimes lost in Aztlan when in reality, fuck, I'm home.
yeah,
And so
and what brings you back home? What brings you back home is not having a deed, not having a civil fucking paper that says this is,
you're funny.
you know, you know what I mean? Like it
Of
doesn't.
course, of
What
course.
what
You know what brings
connects
me
you
home,
is what
Ruben?
you do every day, Daniel.
But my
You go
home is
outside in your yard. You go
right,
outside in
right.
your
I
fucking
touch
yard, and
the
you put
earth.
your
I go
hands in the fucking
right.
dirt, and you fucking, you trim your plant, and you
And
take care of your
Ruben, and I'm
nopales, and you
sorry,
plant your avocado tree,
but I don't
and
want to apologize for this, but Ruben, that has nothing to do with Palestine and Israel, bro. You know what I mean? And I that stuff is happening out in the world, and it hurts my heart. How can it not hurt my heart that innocent people are dying? Period. Regardless of what the religion is, regardless of but how would that not hurt my heart? But man, I still have to walk my path. And if walking my path, it's just I got to follow the light, and it's just I'm
what is that
55,
light?
man, you
We
know?
need to be more specific about what that light is, and it's gonna be different for everyone.
Right,
For
right,
you, it could be whatever it is, and for me, it's whatever it is, and
right,
for Sky,
right.
so and so and so and so and so forth. The point is, collective light shines a bigger, brighter spectrum. It's a collective light. Focus on your light. Your light shines really, really powerful, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. But
You
Ruben,
know,
our light shouldn't have to kill anybody here, man. You know what I mean? Like the fact that
or
we're
no
in
one
place
should
to
have to get hurt, or no one should have to go to jail, or no
right,
one should be ridiculed, and no one should be chastised for having an opinion. Because that's all those kids are, man. They just have an opinion. They go, shit, you taught us for fucking years through the whole school system that Nazi Germany was the shit, and that it was bad, and that people should never do that ever again. Never again will that happen on this earth. And then it happens again. And you're saying, nah, forget about the World War II thing. That's Hitler. That's a different name. That's a different color. It's a different uniform.
right,
It's the same tactics. It's the
right,
same objectives.
right, right.
It's the same thing. This whole world's turning into Palestine, desensitizing the mind, keeping the masses in a loop of time while the rich elites get away with the crimes against humanity, with arrogance and vanity. This is insanity.
And
This
Ruben,
is where we're at,
but
bro.
we help them when we carry anger, and that's what, man. I know I got to battle my anger because I don't want them to win. You know,
And
I want them to
you know
win.
what? You know what kills anger? And I jumped in right there, Daniel. Forgive me, but
That's all
fucking this,
good, bro.
man, the
Help me,
connection,
help
bro,
me kill it.
the connection. Okay, get up, and I know you get up early at 6 a.m. and look at that color. That color is powerful. I can't explain it, man. Do it. That kills anger, bro.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
Gives
Ruben,
creativity. It gives
right,
creativity. Why? Because when you greet something that's responsible for everything that's being created, you're connecting to creativity.
right, right.
Do it, man.
But you and too, Ruben, I have a lot to be thankful for. I think that, and I just don't want to get it confused. My anger hides because I don't, you know, what I mean, it's not in me like it just comes out sometimes, and I'm thinking, oh fuck, you know. But it's just that it doesn't. I don't give it out to people. I only give it out to people who want it, you know, because people ask for it. Oh fuck, I got some of that, you know. But it's not. It's not. It's not my intention, you know. It's just that. But that's what a warrior walks his path, and you always try to, you know, do your best to resonate from your heart, you know, and so,
Yeah.
um, you
You
know,
know
but
what a warrior does? I want to add to that. You know what a warrior does? He dusts off his trauma that he grew up with. He dusts it off. Yeah. I grew up without a dad. Yeah. A lot of people important in my life died early. It's okay. I'm a warrior. I have a focus. And I respect the life that lives inside of me. If you respect, love, and protect the life that lives inside of you, you're a warrior. Not so easy, though.
yeah, and that's what I've been finding, Ruben. I've been finding, remembering my homies that aren't with us anymore. You know, it's been kind of a bit of an inspiration, but a little bit of sadness, you know. But just for me, that's inspiration. Because I think to man, I think of because I don't know. I feel like those that are in Miklan, that when we say that prayer to them, I know they hear that prayer. You know, at least to me, it's something I feel. You know, especially as I'm rocking the Miklan shirt today. You know that I feel, you know, I used to always, you know, I feel like when I'm creative, I edge towards the Miklan symbols. You know, and so it's yeah, kind of I don't know, but I just feel I feel like remembering those that aren't with us no more gives me a sense of peace. You know.
Right. I guess we know what we're going to talk about, Sky.
Now we
Sky
know.
always asks me like, "Hey, what are we talking about today?" I'm like, "Oh man." My answer is always, "We're gonna freestyle it today, Sky."
That's
So,
fine.
what do you think we talked about today, Sky? I just want to ask because you were like front row.
I think today we talked a lot about how we can't allow other issues or other things to really rile us up. But really, what it
Right.
comes back down to is finding oneself first and finding peace within yourself so that you're not able to just get disrupted by any little thing that just falls on you.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest takeaway for me today.
Yeah, you feel responsible. Like, oh, well, what did I do to help these poor people that are dying over there, right? And you're gonna go, well, I'm gonna join this guy because he disagrees, and I disagree, and he disagrees. So now we're all disagreeing together, and we all letting everyone know that we disagree.
Have you ever protest this guy?
No, actually, I've never really. I don't really.
You've never went out there in the front lines protesting for a certain cause, or
no, because I've always felt like it always turns into something else. And just like that Palestine thing today on USC campus, when you look on the news, immediately people aren't even thinking about the issue of Palestine. People are just thinking about the cops, people getting arrested. It's like, it's sad to say, but it's like, it's almost for nothing in a sense. It's just chaos.
I would agree with that. I concur.
Again.
Yep.
There's no way you could beat him, huh, Zero? Like, there's no way.
No.
Look at Eden is in jail right now, dude. Eden and his wife are still sitting in jail right now.
I'm gonna tell you why.
No bail.
I'm gonna tell you why you can't beat them is because we live in their city. We live there. It's not like we live somewhere else and we're going, hey, that's wrong, and we have our own community and we have our own systems.
Hey, but Ruben, you know what I think too, though? I think that this is what I see it as. I think that those people that are doing that there, once the community figures out how to remove them, they will. Because the thing is, it's just a matter of time. People like that shouldn't be in power. People like that shouldn't be using resources to promote some type of political agenda or something. It's just the fact that, it just, anyways, but once that community organizes themselves, begins to ferret out, how do you get these people out of office? How do you get these people fired? You're going to start to understand it, because the thing is, it's just right now, maybe
I don't know if that's a reality.
But Ruben, I'm just saying, man.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And this is that. I know you're not going to answer this honestly, but do you think there's going to be a day where every single councilman's on the same page and every single senator's on the same page? And every single fucking president is on the same page? Never. It's designed that way.
Ruben, hold on. You make me laugh, because I remember you remind me of my best friend. We used to go surfing, and after surfing, he would always ask me these scruple questions. Questions that are just like, if you had a chance to do this, and no one would find out. He'd be asking me these questions.
But that's what I hear. That's what I hear. Like, we got to get rid of these bad guys. These council guys right here, and these senators.
Ruben, look at.
They're all bad guys. They've always been bad guys.
Right. You're right. Okay, but here's the thing, though, bro. We're not going nowhere.
Yeah.
We're not going nowhere.
We're not.
And the thing is, really, we could take it all down, or we could take it.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm never going to say that we could take it all down.
No, but I'm saying it's an option. People say that. I'd never do that. Like I said, I don't hit walls, so I
wouldn't. Don't get it confused. I want your fucking algorithms or any of you.
No, but Ruben, what I'm saying
about that is we're not. You know how you take it down? You know how you take it down is you go, okay, this is the way I feel like my ancestors would come from the ether, right? Those people, those great mathematicians, those great scientists, those great astrologers, they would come up here and they would go, okay, cool. Well, what is your tactics? Oh, this is your economics? Oh, interesting. These are mine. Mine come from thousands of years of observation. That's what I'm talking about. If we go back even just a little bit, I know what I've accomplished just by eating spirulina, maca, chia, cacao daily. What it's done and transformed for my life, I can tell you right now what it's done. We need to practice what they did, and it's not hard because it's based on nature. Nature doesn't change much. It changes a tiny bit, but doesn't change much. That right there is far more advanced science, math, astrology, spirituality, finances. When we start saving $13 a day and see where it gets you, right? Start saving $13 a day, see where it gets you. Then take the $13 savings and do something with 52 in it and see where that gets you. You see, our mathematics was designed to become greater, right, Daniel?
Right,
You
right.
can count high levels of numbers.
Hey, but Ruben, too, I would just throw in that, and this was when we were there for plant-based Atlanta a couple months ago. But and this is what I see it. Okay, is that I was very privileged and happy that my nephew and I were there to see the signs coming down on Whittier Boulevard, that the no more cruising signs were taken down, and that sign came down, and all the vato locos and all the cholos were there with their cars, and they were there with the police and the council people, and I was like, man, just tripping out, thinking, I'd have never imagined this to happen, and it happened, and there it was, and it's just like, wow. And so, to me, seeing things like that and seeing those type of changes is just part of what could be possible. And then the other one is in my town, Ruben. I've only grown up with people that never looked like me being the police, law enforcement. And so now I see in my town, finally in 2024, they're beginning to put in people that don't, that begin to look like me. So, I mean, I see the progress. It's not fast enough for me, but I see it. But again, too, I'm 55. I've lived here all my life. So I start to see it, and you're right. It sucks that, why is it now take this long for me to see somebody that looks like me in my city? But I see that in your city, and it made me feel good. But that happened all across California. That law changed, and so I just see it differently. I know things are fucked up, and for us, it's getting better little by little. But I hope to live to be 106, and or 104. I want to do 252s,
Right.
and so to see the change, because it's changing. It has to change because we're not going nowhere. We didn't go nowhere. The natives stayed here. Everybody came here to be free. Think about that. Okay, we didn't go nowhere. Where'd the natives go? We stayed here. We didn't go nowhere. Everybody came here. Everyone, it's like people don't think about that. How would you kick us out? Where would we go? We're from here. It's
But
all
I mean,
everybody that came
but
here.
and you're saying that, Daniel, and then across the globe, people are being told to get off their land.
Yeah, but who's telling them, Ruben? Think about that.
No,
Who tells
I
us
know,
to
I
leave?
know, I know who's telling them.
Well, it's a person with a gun. In this country, it's a person
it's
with a
an
gun.
oppressive system. It's
Right,
a system
right.
that said
You don't look like me.
that World War II can never happen. That's why we're gonna make NATO, right? And then NATO's threatening everyone, right?
Right.
Putting us in a situation where um other countries are threatening to harm innocent people
Well, Ruben, but why?
over
You know why?
over over ideologies,
Right.
over stupid things, and that's my point. We can't get caught up in why do they. I wrote in a song. I never ask why. I never complain because when you never ask why and you never complain, you deal with the situation at hand. Even if the situation at hand is hard and difficult and seems impossible to solve, what are
Right.
you going to do? Not solve it?
You're funny. It
It's like
reminds me.
no, no, not me. I guess I just grew up as a kid. I was telling this guy, I used to have to take care of my little sister when I was young. You know, that's a lot of responsibility to put on a kid. I'm not complaining about it, but it eliminated. Why do I have to do this? There is no why.
And where did it get you, Ruben? Where did it get you there, huh? Where did it
I mean,
get
it
you
got
taking
me
care of your
to. I
sister?
mean, it gets me to a place where I feel like I can't. I have to get things done. Like right now, I still have to go back to work, and I have to do a huge ass order. But I love my community of LA natives. I love it. I love it. I don't care. It's been going, bro. I'm on 2 year of this right now.
No, but that's good, Ruben. I
You
know
know.
I gotta go, man. I got this big old blunt that I rolled. Fuck, I gotta smoke it.
And it's just that's how much we can't ask why. We just gotta do. We gotta do as much as we can. We gotta understand that we have a very enormous amount of power. And I don't mean power is a horrible word to describe this, but I'll replace power with creativity. Because creativity carries a repercussion of this powerful moment, right? This powerful song, this powerful drawing.
Well, together we're stronger, Ruben. And
Yeah.
I think is once the sleeping giant, which is who we are, once we come together, it's gonna be a big difference in a lot of things, man. Because we're hardworking people, we're honest.
But I would love to see that come together. Like, I would love to see this come together that that you're describing to be like how spring comes together, right? No one tells it what to do. No, there's no man that blows a horn
Right.
or some god from the sky comes and
Right.
says, "Hey, let there be spring." Right?
Well, I think it's like, it's like you
It's
said.
like when it comes together, it's gonna come together because as a global consciousness, just like we had pyramids everywhere, and we had higher learning centers, and we had, I have an opinion on how we got to those places, but you know, it's gonna come together like the Huicholes told us. We do not protect her; she protects us, and we're on board with her protection. And I'm talking about Mother Earth. We can't be silly in thinking that we can harm something that is huge, massive. How much would a 30-second 9.1 earthquake do to a city, right? 30
Well, see,
seconds.
but now you're
30,
talking, Ruben. Now you're starting to understand that, man, we
30
live in a
seconds.
very that Ruben, that these people did not create a system that was going to made for the earth to shake, and our ancestors did. So
Mm.
our stuff will withstand this time, but none of their stuff does. Think about it's interesting you said because there was an earthquake in New York, man. Think about New York, worst place to build tall buildings for the earthquake. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The future is going to get really interesting.
And how 12 seconds at magnitude 6.5.
That's not
Well,
even a big magnitude.
I don't know if you've heard Zero and Daniel, but there's a lot of insurance companies that are backing out of California.
Oh hell yeah,
They don't
yeah,
want to
because they don't want to
insure
pay
a
because they can't
commercial
make money.
or residential property
No, I've heard that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're
Bullshit.
thinking the big one's gonna come.
Well, whether the big one comes or
Right,
whether
right,
the big
right.
one
It's
doesn't
So
come,
so if insurance companies are having this prediction, I don't know. Do they know something that we don't?
no,
You
but
know?
think about they're just making money though, Mondo. Come on, man. What is it? What you pay insurance? Why? Because you have to. Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, think about it.
no,
It's such a scam,
this is
man.
this
Such a
is
scam,
this
huh?
is the way I see
Dude,
it. Like
insurance is a scam, bro. Come on.
insurance companies are safety nets for wealth, right? And like I told you guys, they're just stabilizing the globe slowly. The first sign of it was all the major CEOs leaving the United States. That's one piece that happened. How long ago? How long ago did that happen, Armando? The CEOs bouncing out, like
Ye-
all the major ones, like fucking major ones, right?
Right. Yep.
Right? That no one said anything. That was, oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I didn't
Hmm,
get the email. When was
it's
that?
fucking weird that everybody left. It's like, and it probably even started before that with 9/11, right?
Yeah.
Because before that, we didn't have to go through metal detectors to go through, fucking the airport and the restriction of rights and this and that. And this is everything that everybody called a conspiracy theory, we're living now. Right. And so maybe it wasn't a conspiracy theory. Maybe William Cooper was right. Right.
Who's that?
He wrote a book called Behold the Pale Horse.
Oh, that's right. That's what Eric
William
talked about.
Cooper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, it was something that we studied like in 94.
Look at what they did to Alex Jones. He's completely wiped off the face of the earth.
Oh, that poor guy.
He challenged. He challenged. And then
Yo, that guy's complete. He was completely canceled by the government.
I
But
mean,
didn't he say that didn't he say that shooting was a hoax?
The Sandy Hook. Yeah, that's what got it started.
right. It's the same. I mean, who said this to I think it was Kanye saying this to Kobe, where he's all, they saw each other walking past each other and they said, well, we're just high priced slaves. Right.
Oh, damn.
Multi-million-dollar slaves. Because in 1 minute, you can get everything taken away from you. In a second, just for saying something wrong. Not doing something wrong, not, cheating people out of their life savings, right? Just for saying something.
Yeah,
You're
but
gone.
Ruben, I would imagine that's because if you have an agreement with somebody, because I mean, if you have an agreement with somebody and you have to follow everything they say, then, because it's kind of weird. I mean, I don't follow it too much, but I've been somewhat kind of watching this whole P. Diddy thing kind of come apart, and so,
I have an opinion. I have a small opinion about the whole P Diddy thing, right?
well, I
And
mean, I was just saying, I never really
I'm gonna
liked
tie
him,
it. I'm gonna tie it with this whole Drake battle shit.
Wait, Drake? What happened to Drake?
It's a little hip hop little thing that I want to say. Okay,
Okay.
like okay, we everybody started talking about like the P Diddy thing, right? And all the
And for me, I wasn't even surprised, bro.
right.
All
But what
these, all
happened at the
these,
same time? What happened at the same time that started breaking? What happened? Right? Kendrick Lamar
Yep.
fucking releases this diss track against Drake, and now
What?
the whole fucking internet's talking about it. Right? Not only are they talking about it, but they're fucking going, he said this. Now let me pull up this album. Let me pull up this song. You see this line right here? He was talking about that right there, dude. And they do these like fucking 5-minute breakdown documentaries on what. Well, we're not talking about Diddy's inappropriate drugging anymore, right? They're all friends, bro. You don't think somebody said, "Hey, bro, we need to do something for this fool, man"? They're trying to take him down. The man's trying to take him out.
Wow, you think his lovers? You think, or
This is
what do you
just my little conspiracy theory, right? But it's just weird that it's getting so much attention, and it's like all over. It's like I don't know. I don't want to see a fucking documentary about how fucking Drake dissed somebody in a song, maybe, kind of. Like, dude, rap battles used to be the bridge is over, the bridge is over. He fucking said his name, MC Shan. You're saying that hip hop comes. That's a battle, not fucking. Oh, I slept with the girl that's called Vicky, and then oh shit, he's talking about fucking homegirl's fucking ex-girlfriend. Like, come on,
Yeah.
that's
Just a whole lot of nonsense, pretty
right.
much.
It's like fucking novelas. Who
Yeah.
gives a fuck who you fucked or how much money you have or what fucking car you have or what deal you have or like I can't believe people get surprised over, oh my God, Kendrick Lamar has to give 50% of his song. Oh man, what a punk. Right?
Yeah.
And while you go in your fucking Ultima to Burger King and fucking work your job. Right? You have this big old opinion. I'm not dissing you, man. Telling you to turn that opinion into creativity. Make yourself Kendrick Lamar. It's possible. It's how much work you'll do, how much creativity. What door will you go in? Or are you going to go into the one that everybody knows, like that's, fame? Fuck it. Everybody's going through that one. Let's go through that one without using your creativity. You're in a fucking dead end. All you guys are bullshit. All you fucking rappers. And I don't want to battle you. I do not want to write a battle against Drake. I want to have an opinion about how stupid it sounds.
Hey, Ruben,
It no longer is hip hop. Is this hip hop, Armando? You're in the trenches. This whole Drake battle shit.
No, as soon as I got drift of the whole Drake and J. Cole and Kendrick shit, to me, I instantly identify that as the enemy of the people. It does not represent anything. It has nothing to do with hip hop.
Like what I don't like, and I'm gonna come to
that's the culture. That's the toxic culture of hip hop.
Right. This is how toxic.
It does not represent underground.
This is how toxic it is. This is how toxic it is. When J. Cole goes, hey, you know what, bro? You know what? I'm not gonna go there, dude. I don't want to do this. Like, I like his art. I'm cool, man. I don't want to be a part of this. What a weak fucking dude. Oh my God, he's trash. He's trash. Why? Because he understands that he doesn't want to be a part of something that's being manufactured. Right? He's trash because of that. He's an artist, bro. He took a long time to become an artist. He's not trash. had an opinion, and people have different opinions. And this is the place that we need to be, where we have different opinions. We're all individuals. I just said that we all have a power that came from the Creator. Even that bum on the street, it comes from the Creator. It comes from something that we don't know. We don't know what creates it. We know it's there. How it reacts to this earth, how it travels, how its strategy becomes, it'll be up to that energy. That's what I'm saying. We can't get caught up with this vacuum of nonsense, like ooh, who do you got? Drake? Do you think Drake's gonna take all 20? That's so stupid. Like, when in hip hop history has it been where there's fucking one rapper rapping against 5 or 6 other fucking rappers? Right?
Yeah.
Right, Armando? Like, this is just, to me, it's manufactured. It's fucking, you can see it a mile away.
Right.
Well, 2 of the biggest hip hop artists, Jay-Z and Sean, are getting some serious accusations. Right? Yet we're worried about how Drake is taking down half of the hip hop industry. If one rapper could take out 20 rappers, then we don't have a fucking hip hop industry, bro.
Mhm.
Like, you used to be afraid of rappers. You used to walk in and like, oh shit, this guy's here. Ew, shit, he's really good. You actually have.
Yeah. Did you freeze?
Okay, so I just wanted to pull this up. Like, speaking about the whole Diddy shit, it all stems to, I believe, the toxicity of what hip hop is in the mainstream level when it comes to these major um players involved that make multi-million dollars off the exploitation of hip hop and what it could generate. And remember the name Jerry Heller? It's I believe what the creator of NWA.
NWA, yeah.
So I just thought this clip was interesting because it ties directly to P. Diddy. Let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys. Let me see.
That I think represents the thinking of the vanguard. So I want to play this clip. Yes, it's the first side. Yeah, play that.
I said, what do you call the group? He said, NWA. And I said, what's that stand for? No whites allowed? And he said, that's pretty close. And he played me Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta Compton, Ice Cube, in a band called With Attitude. And I said, whoa. I said, this is everything that Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy would have done if they wouldn't have been assassinated. And I said, this is going to be more important to race relations in this country since Dr. King and Bobby Kennedy. So the reason that I was able to relate to it was I had been around for a while. I had hung out with the Stones and the Beatles, and I saw the rebellion of the Stones. I saw the poetry of Gil Scott-Heron. I saw the anger and angst of our inner cities that the Black Panthers had. And I had represented several of the Panthers and made their book deals. And this was all cut into one. So I called a meeting of all my clients the next day at this mob restaurant called Bartoni's, and I told them I couldn't represent them anymore, that I was going in business with this guy, Eric Wright.
revolutionary. These guys are innovative.
These guys are a gold mine.
Yeah. This was a put together thing, right? Because Eazy-E was not a rapper. Yet
You can tell when you hear him rap some of the stuff, he's just not that
and
good.
he's giving them the credit of Jill Scott Heron. These guys, Eazy-E, comparable to Gil Scott Heron. Come on, look,
They were just
let me.
They were just saying the people he works for and the investments that he protects and stuff like that are directly tied to the people who own the jails. You know,
Yeah,
it ties into to P. Diddy. He's a plant. He's installed there to promote that, to just fill up these jails.
Look,
and then
it
for
goes
him to sit
deeper,
there,
it goes
but how
deeper.
can a Jewish man sit there and say, "Man, niggas with attitude, I can relate"?
I'm gonna tell you how.
That's what Martin Luther King would want.
I'm gonna tell you.
And I'm just thinking to myself, is that what?
crazy. Yeah, did he just say
Martin
that?
Luther King would want? Is that the mindset that these Jewish men have?
Look,
You know what I'm
before
saying?
that, before
Yeah.
that, Armando, before that,
All
look,
hail the
in
dollar.
the 1920s, there was a group of individuals. I'm not going to say what race they are. I'm not going to say what ethnicity they are. I'm not going to say what region they live in, but they gathered together. But I think Jerry Heller was one of them, right? He comes from those people. I'm not going to say it, but he comes from those people, right? And these people back in the 20s, they wanted to convince Black famous artists to insert nigger into their music. And so they would have meetings with these very popular Black artists, this society, this group of people, right? They would, for years, they've been trying to convince Black artists, use that word. That word's a cool word. You can use that word. It's like hip. But they knew what that word meant. But they were trying to make that word hip. That's like us going, oh, well, we're going to turn around and we're going to say, wetback is cool now.
Right.
Wetback is cool. That's the cool thing. Like, you're a warrior if you're a wetback. That's what they had to do, right? So what happened? What happened after NWA? Everybody became a NWA, right?
Gangster rap.
No, the word. Everyone became a what? Nigger. He finally succeeded. He convinced an artist. He didn't even have to convince the fucking artist. The artist already had the name in it. He just had to find it, popularize it. That was the mission. Don't let them fool you with, they were Gil Scott Heron. Oh my God, these guys were so revolutionary.
Oh man, they were the Beatles.
They were the Beatles, man. They were fucking, dude.
The West Coast Beatles. That's funny.
You know, Santana. They were Jimi Hendrix. They popularized a word that degrades a community. Brought to you by a society that has been trying to do that in popular music for hundreds of years, for at least 86 years.
How can Jerry Heller sit there and say, "Man, I could relate to the music"?
Yeah.
I brought all my homies together at the mob restaurant.
It's like this. It's like it's the same way.
We took over the rap game.
Jerry Heller could say that same statement like Liar Cohen could say. I got bills to pay. I got bills to pay. It doesn't matter if I'm exploiting this guy. It doesn't matter if this guy's pushing poison to your community. It doesn't matter if this guy's pushing prison to your children. It doesn't matter that this guy's buying useless jewelry that's worth nothing. I got bills to pay. That's what they say. That's who they are. And we all follow them like fish. Like Jay-Z's dope, bro. Jay-Z's the king, bro. Like, these people know what they're making popular. Don't think that, oh, what the fuck? What? That's negative? Niggers with attitude is negative? That's going to be a negative impact on this community?
I mean, when you think about how many people use that word now that for
They're fucking
non-black
liars.
people.
Put that fucking clip on a fucking liar Cohen. Go, I got bills to pay. Exploiting, dude. Exploiting somebody who does massive amounts of drugs.
Really rough, particularly on women. But I think it helped change the course of the crack epidemic. I don't know what's this opioid thing, man. Is
But being a crackhead wasn't cool back then. Being a crackhead wasn't cool. Now they seem like they're making it cool to be drinking lean and syrup and
it's the most dangerous. It's the most dangerous thing that's facing our society.
So why sign an artist that would promote that?
Because
hold on.
Pick it up from.
I just got the mic turned back on. Go ahead, Israel.
Pause right there, because he said right now he just finished admitting that it was the most dangerous thing happening in the society, right? And then his next words are going to be, "But I got bills to pay," right? Roll the clip.
I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent. But I have to. I can't give up on people.
But I'm saying that's hypocritical, though. You're saying
it's opportunistic.
Yeah.
I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
You're gonna make Dame Dash take this clip and call you a culture vulture.
Who's Dame Dash? You brought him up. I don't even know him.
We blindly go, wow, oh wow, that's right. He just said it. He has bills to pay. It's not his fault, right?
All for the price of money, Come on, man. It's like that's.
It's not even. No, dude. Look, when I used to talk to my manager when I was in El Bull, this is the formula: give anybody $5 million budget, and they're gonna be a superstar. They'll give you a $5 million budget, and you're gonna break. You would have to be dumbass, because that's what they do. Every single Rihanna, all them, they had a $5 million budget, and if they broke with the $5 million budget, next one's 20, next one's 30. They're superstars. So they know exactly what they're doing. He just said it. I'm opportunistic. What does that mean? When I tell you I'm opportunistic, what would that mean to you? That means you're going to take advantage.
Money, yeah.
Any weakness.
Yep.
Any weakness you have, Sky, I'm going to take advantage of it because I'm opportunistic.
They're the Beatles.
It's just the whole word thing, though. Talent. I'll do talent. What are you talking about? Talent is, right? And then, but you sign the one with the issues, the one that goes to jail, the one that drinks lean, the one that, exploits women, abuses women, the one that doesn't care about his kids. Come on, man. We're not there. There's too much information in front of you for you not to see people lying to you in your face. It's easy to cut the fat, is what I'm trying to say. These guys are not smart. Daniel's right. They're not smart.
They don't have a plan for the future, Ruben. They're just living for today. And that's not, it's not a very workable plan. We've been here a while, and so, but I mean, I think it's kind of interesting because the system is so big, but again, too, we got to find our way in it and just adjust it to ourselves,
I know that there's a system. I'm conscious of a system, but I'm not going to try to work in it. I'm way away from it. I try to take steps that people go, why do you do that? Because I don't want to be in that position. You know what I mean? Like, although Bob Marley was very popular, he said a line, or one of the whalers wrote a line that says, "We know and we understand. We know and we understand that God is a living man," right? Not that God is a man or anything, but when you say we know and we understand, you're taking away somebody else's version of it and going, no, I'm defining my own version of it. And then when your version, you find out, is tied to grandfathers and grandmothers that go back thousands of years, then we know and we understand becomes more powerful. It actually becomes truth. Us knowing and us understanding where we are and what our place is in the cosmovision of our ancestors. That's where we are. If we're disciplined enough, if we research enough, if we meet and greet and treat each other with love, kindness, respect, the communities will come together like spring comes together. We won't need a movement. The movement will be there. Because we're water. Are we water? Are we water?
Yes.
75% water. Bruce Lee was right. We are water. And we're going to use our creativity. You guys got any last words?
You know what? The viewership is at an all-time high. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Like the video, share the video, comment in the video. Please help us get to over 1,000 subscribers. We're almost there.
We need 1,300.
Thank you, Daniel, for tuning
Yeah,
in.
man. Likewise, man. Thanks for all your work for the platform.
Man, it's almost 11 p.m. Pacific time, and we got a great audience tonight, Zero. Like, any last words?
Yeah. You got anything, Sky?
I just want to say thank you for all the people tuning in. And yeah, it's all about this journey to become more like water.
There you
Purify
go.
oneself. Leave it at that.
Right.
Hey, you know what, too? Somebody commented here that his wife's a middle school teacher, and it's kind of very, very telling, a very good point. He said that half the kids want to be YouTubers and the other half want to be narcos.
Hey,
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that upon any kid out there, man. We have, almost 1,000 subscribers over at Underground Hip Hop Blog. We have about 20,000 subscribers, and man, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's
get into the trades, kids. Be a carpenter or something.
Well,
electrician, plumber.
Hey, but teachers in there, man, trying to make a difference.
Because if all the kids want to be YouTubers, there's going to be a shitload of jobs down the line for any trade work.
Hey, what was it you that was talking about, like how TikTok is different in China? That they feed their TikTok completely.
Their
different.
algorithm is different.
Oh yeah, all their kids are razor sharp.
Right, and they want to be scientists, astronauts, doctors, lawyers, and it's like, man,
Dude, I seen a TikTok where in kindergarten they're cooking meals. Like the little kindergartners, they're like 6 years old or 5 years old, and they're all fucking making Chinese food and shit, fucking making teriyaki chicken and all kinds of good shit. Like, well, I don't eat meat, but you know what I mean.
Hey, but it's a trip, man. The youth of the future,
Next week, I want to break down the whole P. Diddy thing with you, Zero. We're gonna go through. I want to pick your brain on that, man, because we're in the hip hop business. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
And that does not that fully represents the wickedness. It's
Bad
been
actors.
There. It's been there, right, Zero?
Interesting.
Treating women like shit, doing the drugs.
I mean,
being in the club, going into the strip clubs, buying the Louis.
Yep.
Buying the Gucci. Those days are over, I think.
Well, yeah, because
I hope
it has to go.
It's at the end.
13 families cannot rule the globe. It's silly. They can do it if they concentrate things, and even then they can't do it. It's a silly thought.
Yeah,
it's a silly thought. But I just want to thank the chat as we say goodbye here. We appreciate your comments. You know, nobody calls in, but you guys should. You guys have opinions, and
Everyone watching, tune in next week. Get your opportunity to call in live, chat with us.
Look, the minute we get to 1,300, I'm gonna start giving away the powders. I'm gonna start giving away shirts. We're gonna start giving away
stickers,
stickers,
Right,
tickets,
right.
T-shirts from Daniel's.
Yeah. Be giving away gear too. Yeah, for sure.
Look, it's about giving gifts to our community, but you know, we also take our personal time to come here, and I'm not saying that we need to be compensated for that, but we need to know that the audience is listening and that you feel that this content is going to be beneficial to others. That's how community grows, by recognizing what is going to be beneficial to others.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have, no one had more than another person because we all benefited from each other.
Right.
And best believe, guys, once we hit 1,000 subscribers and we're eligible to monetize, all that money is going to just get recycled into the community to throw those events, to promote our page, to promote Zero's content. Right, Zero?
Absolutely.
The future's bright.
I mean, for 20 years, I've used my own personal money to make my records, to make records with they're not my records.
In the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. We spend a lot of money doing that, but that's okay. You know, we're still moving along, but we're just asking for the community to pitch in at this point if you find it relevant. If you find our content relevant, let's get to 1,300, and then let's get to 5,200.
Right.
And
Then
then
we
let's
can make a
create
video.
events. Let's create events where hundreds of people gather. Let's create we have a person that can find us a place where we can gather in that way. Armando, we could start in one place and get another place, and it's just about how much participation are we going to have from our community. You have a great participation in the chat. I love it. But now it's time to turn around and just go, hey, man, you guys should be listening to LA Natives. And LA Natives has a relevant message, and we should support whoever's doing that. And then you watch how our creative minds will create what they need, what it needs to create, because they can't stop. Like I told you, man, it's not a movement anymore. We used to think it's a movement, but it's not a movement. Because if it was a movement, that means that humans are separate from nature. And we're not. We can be modified, we can be fucked with, we can be changed in certain ways, but it won't take us away from nature. Nature created us. Nature created us, my friends. And nature tells us when to wake up, when to go to sleep. You think we didn't want to resist the Spanish? You think we wanted to change the system that we had took hundreds of years to create? It took humility. It took courage to know that if we close our eyes, one day we can open them again. And that we can decide, that we can use our hearts, that we can use our bodies to affect the mother that gives us life, to complement her, not to protect her, but to be with her, because we don't agree. We don't agree. And that means on everything. We don't agree on everything you're doing. Climate change, genocide, human trafficking, drugs, misleading people with religion. We don't agree, man. And how I don't agree is not by being violent towards you. How I don't agree is by loving me, making me stronger. Because when I'm stronger, I'll put my life on the line for Sky. Daniel, Armando, my community, my loved ones, my family, my children. Because I realize that I'm a part of this great, beautiful sky, earth, air, fire, water. We have one task in this life, and I think Bruce Lee put it best: be water. We are water, 75% water. We are made of water. We hold a lot of water. Use the water to give water to the flowers that our ancestors promised us would return. Those flowers are each of your hearts. We'll see you next week.